Go for it. Take it away.
All right. So what are we looking at? This is the Salton Sea main playboard right here. All kinds of stuff goes on here. But most of your thinking process is going to be done while staring at your player board, which we'll get to in a little bit. But let's go over this board here. First off, on the side over here, you have claims of land that you will be purchasing, sometimes getting for free, but mostly purchasing. You can't extract the brine from the land without having a claim to it. The brine that you will be extracting is represented by these little diamonds on here. Rocks on the claims are bad. You don't want to hit those rocks. Yeah. Here in the center of the board is the economic part of the game. There are 3 companies that will purchase the brine and other assorted units of stuff that you will sell them. They are Redco, Yellowco, and Blueco. The track running right up the middle here is the shares that we, the players, will be purchasing over the course of the game, or sometimes getting for free. Because that's how it works. Just here, have some shares. Ooh, what's that? I heard a
Keep going.
The little cube here on the side is the, what do they call that? The asset evaluation intensity marker. I can't remember.
It's the share limiter, is what it is, and as well as doubles as the share price.
Yeah, value.
Yeah, or share value.
These little bonus tokens here, the first, or not even necessarily the first, but as you move your share markers up here, you're going to get access to these little bonus tokens. You can see there's maybe from the top down, maybe not, but there are fewer and fewer tokens available. So the first person to get all the way to the top is going to get this juicy one up here.
That's random.
It is all randomized, but the blue ones I think we determined are on the whole better than the yellow ones, better than the red ones.
Right.
And then these little icons here are going to be important, as you'll see in a little bit as I explain other parts of the game. Now up here, I'm going to flip these over right now. Oh yeah, you can.
Gotcha.
These are the initial values that the companies, that Redco, Yellowco, and Blueco, are going to be buying stuff from you if you need money. That's your chief way to get money, is by extracting brine from the claims and then selling that brine to these companies. They first will buy brine from you for $3 a pop. Later, you can process that brine into geothermal energy or lithium. And this company, for example, will buy geothermal from you for $6 and lithium for $8. But this one, not interested in your batteries, and this one, not interested in your fire. So go sell it somewhere else. These things can change as the game goes on. As this cube makes its way up, it'll cross this little green line here, and then another green line here, and then eventually it'll get up here. As it crosses these lines, we will be taking these tiles and putting them on top of there, and that can change the values pretty drastically. It'll, we can go from $9 for a battery to, nope, we don't want your batteries at all. Get out of here. Eventually, if a cube makes it all the way to the top here, then the company is closed. It's not buying anything anymore. And when that happens to 2 companies, that's one of the 2 ways that the game can end. The other way is if this claim deck runs out over the course of the game, we will all be buying claims, and they will also get burned in between rounds. They'll get discarded. So eventually, I think this is the primary timer of the game, and that's the most likely way that the game is going to end. Over here, we have action cards. We have action cards, we have contracts, and we have research cards. Research cards are going to help you be better over the course of the game. They're going to give you either permanent abilities that are going to make things more awesome, or one-time abilities that you can use that will let you do a normal action in a more awesome way once, and then you get rid of the research card. Contracts are another way that you're going to make money from all the stuff that you're extracting and processing. Not as much money as selling it directly to companies, but they make up for that by giving you cool bonuses, maybe free shares in these different companies, and just straight up points. Points are good.
I mean, points are the golden life, right?
Yeah. Now, these are the action cards. Action cards are also going to be better versions of the actions that you have available to you on your player board, which we will get to, I promise. But the cool thing about this game is that your action cards also double as your money. We all start with a bunch of $1 action cards. As you earn money, for example, say you sell a brine for $3, you can either take 3 1s, or you can take a single 3. Most of the time, you can do that in any combination that you want. There are some times, in fact, there's specifically one time where you are limited to taking something from the top of this stack right here. But just about all other times, you take from the... Is that a sound to be celebrated by? Yeah.
Yes.
Most of the time, though, we're either going to take from this market or from the discard pile that will be forming right here as we, from right here as we will be playing our cards. Now, finally, on this player board, or on this central board up here, is the objectives. There are 2 types of objectives. There are races, where we are trying to be the first to complete it, and then ones that you will evaluate at the end of the game. If it says max, then that means at the end of the game, we're all going to compare whatever is on the card, and whoever has the most of it gets the most. Did I flub?
No, I'm trying not to make jokes. I'm trying to let,
You know what? I'm going to let you make a joke.
No, you said max. I'm like, oh God, they're not connected to Boeing in any way, are they?
No, not at all. No.
Whew. All right,
No
good.
Boeing.
All right,
We're
sorry.
safe. Otherwise, these shares might
I made a face and he stopped. I'm just saying. I kept my mouth shut and everything. All right, keep going.
Make the joke.
All right. Good.
Okay, so these are races, and so for example, this is the first person to make 3 batteries is going to get 7 points.
Or to have 3 batteries at any one time.
That's what
right?
I mean. Yeah,
Okay.
not you don't have to make them, but if you have 3
Well,
batteries...
no. What I'm saying is, if you make one, spend it, you no longer have 1.
Yes.
It's not 3 cumulative, it's 3 at a time.
And in this case, you don't even have to spend those batteries. You just have to have them.
There you go.
You'll get 7 points. If you have one of each of the tokens from, Red Co, Yellow Co, and Blue Co, you'll get 6 points. If you're the first person to complete a contract from each of the 3 contract companies,
Which are
Orange Co, Purple Co, and
Teal Co. Yes.
Teal Co.
All right,
Teal
yeah.
Co. If you have one contract completed of each of those, if you're the first person to do that, you'll get 5. Now you'll see these little stars here. The stars can give you extra points if you've done jumped through some certain hoops that we'll cover in a little bit. I think I've covered the whole board.
I think so, yeah. Well done, yeah.
Board time.
Let's move down here to the player board.
Let's.
That's a lot of actions. That's a lot of lines. That's a lot of geometry. That's a lot of vector art. Let's talk about, first, focus in on what you're going to be doing for most of the game, which is drilling. In order to drill, you need a claim of land. Everyone starts with one little teeny tiny claim of land right here with an unextracted brine right there.
Go.
The way to get additional claims is by taking one of your workers from up here and putting it right down there. That is how you're going to get a claim, and that will let you to come back over here to the claim market to spend. There it is. Come back over here to the claim market.
Sorry.
That's okay. To spend money to get claims. So this claim right here has a base value of $4, and then because it's in this spot, it's going to cost you an extra $2. $2, $1, no extra bucks. This one has been here for so long that they are willing to give you $1 back. So I guess to be absolutely clear, it does not give you $1 back. It is $2 minus 1, so you only have to pay 1.
Right.
Now you've purchased your claim. You're going to pick it up and you're going to put it right under here. So why don't we just take one and just pick one up, put it right there. Thank you. So now you have a claim available to you, but you can't actually get anything until you drill. So now if you put a worker there, you can move your drill down one spot. One spot per action there. Sometimes you just think you know what you're going to say and then it just goes away. That's right. These are the brine that you're trying to extract, and like I said earlier, those are rocks. Those are bad. If your drill ends up on a level with those rocks, then your drill must pay the iron price, and it has to move one spot down that drill damage track for every rock that it is on the level that it just went into. The level that your drill is on is where you can extract from. So at this point right now, we could extract that brine and that brine. You'll never extract rocks. Rocks are solely there to just mess you up.
Or iron pyrite.
No iron pyrite,
Right, yeah.
no none of that stuff. No coal, no steel, nothing coming from those rocks. When you want to extract that brine, the next action you have available to you is extract. So if you put a worker there on the extract action, you can extract one brine, and it can be, you have to go from top down. So you extract from the top down. Now, technically, this claim is now completely full. So if he wanted to, he could get rid of that and move his card up into that slot up there. Now, the thing about these claims, in addition to the brine and the rocks that they have on them and the cost that they have, the other piece of data is what you get down in the lower right. Once you have extracted all of the brine, your drill doesn't have to have moved off the card. You just need to have extracted all the brine off of it. Mm-hmm. Yep. You get what's in the lower right of the card. So in that case, you get 4 points. Mm-hmm. But in that case, you would get 3 points, and you would get a little bonus of moving that star there. What's the benefit of moving the star up? We'll cover that in a little bit. So we've covered getting claims, we've covered drilling, we've covered extracting. What do you do with all this brine? Before we go there, though, I do need to mention we have warehouses. These warehouses start not being able to hold a whole lot of stuff. You start the game with 1 brine in your warehouse, but no geothermal energy and no batteries. You literally cannot hold any more brine. So if you try to extract brine and you can't, you don't get it. I think we determined that if you extract more than you can hold, that brine just goes away.
No, you only extract what you can hold.
That's right. If something gives you free brine,
then that's wasted.
Then that's wasted.
Yeah.
So again, you can only hold the brine that you can actually literally hold in your warehouses. We'll cover how to get more of those in a little bit. So once you've extracted your brine and you want to process it, you go up here to the process action. And what this tells you is you can turn 1 brine into, let's see, is it better to come this way?
No, you're fine.
Okay, you can process 1 brine into a lithium battery or geothermal energy for this cost right here. So a battery for $6 and geothermal for 4.
Just like that.
Just like that. Now, regardless of what you do, you also always have the option to then do a further optimization. And to optimize, you have to move this worker right here, this very human-looking worker, through this very mechanical-looking track, a certain number of spaces, and congratulations, you just generated yourself a free battery because you moved it up 3 spaces. If you only moved it up 2, then you would get yourself a free fire, a free geothermal energy. Now, why would you not just optimize your entire workforce?
Morality?
By the wheelbarrow load. Morale, that's true. But also, you can see in the red numbers here at the end of the game, wherever these things are, that is how much you are going to lose in points at the end of the game.
It can be a lot.
Can be a lot.
Yes, it can.
How many, John? How many can it be?
Over 30.
Okay, all right, just checking.
But also, you'll notice that these 2 spots here have slashes in them, and these 3 spots here have slashes in them. If your drill or person are in those respective spots, you can't do that action anymore. You have drilled so hard that you cannot drill anymore.
So long.
And you have optimized so much. Oh yeah, I mean that's great. Oh yeah, that's very good. Votes for women.
The game that keeps giving, I'm just saying.
Those components are great.
They really are. So if either of these markers, or do both have to be in the...
For the respective action. So if drill is in here or here, you can no longer drill. If this worker here is here, here, or here, you can no longer optimize.
Roger that.
How do you get that down? Repair.
Hey, so...
Putting a worker there gives you 2 repair actions, and with each repair action, by default, you can spend $3 to move one of these markers back down the other way.
Only $3.
Only $3. That's so cheap. You know, you ask like, what is the cost of human life?
What is the cost?
Apparently it's $3.
Right. Apparently as much as you pay for a new drill bit. So you move that down.
Expensive drill bit.
Yeah. Or cheap humans.
All right, sorry.
One of the 2.
All right, focus.
So you once you've moving.
Yeah, once you've moving
out of these spots, you are free to drill or optimize again as you would like, respectively. This is going great. This is fantastic. Let's see here. Let's move up to, so you've repaired everything, we've drilled, we've extracted, we've processed. Now look, why can't I hold all this lithium? I don't know, what do I do with all that stuff?
That's a good question.
That's a great question.
Put it under your tongue. Go ahead.
An entire battery? I've done
Don't
that.
knock it till you try it.
So you can do a couple of things with it. One way is, like I mentioned earlier, sell. So you can put a worker there, and that allows you to sell 1 unit of something. As a side note, there are ways to be able to sell multiple units. So if something allows you to sell 2 brine, you would have to, whether you sell 1, 2, 5, however many, they all have to go to one of the 3 companies, no splitting. So let's say I need money and I want to sell brine to Redco.
You need money and want to sell brine to Redco.
Let's say it. Everyone together.
Oh, yeah.
You need money and you...
GT Wentworth.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Team player.
My money and I want it now.
So we are going to sell brine to Redco. So I'm going to sell 1 brine, so that's going to give me $3. I would get my $3, as I mentioned earlier, from the market here or from the discard pile that other people have played.
Yep.
Never from these top decks.
Never.
Then, no matter how many units of brine or whatever I sold, that cube there is going to move up 1 space. So if I had something to let me sell 4 brine to the Redco, it would still only move up 1 space. And that cube is important. I don't remember if I already mentioned it. That cube is important because you cannot buy shares or gain shares if it would put you above that cube.
Why, hello there. Future Paul here with an important message about this rule that I just got wrong. You see, the green lines that trigger a new market tile being flipped over also control the share limits for that company. Nobody is allowed to have their share marker above the dotted green line of the section that the cube is in. This means that at the start of the game, everyone is able to own up to 3 shares of each company. If they want to own any more, then the little cube for that company needs to be above the dotted green line for that section. This means that not only have I been playing it the hard way all this time, all of Heavy Cardboard's plays have been the hard way too, and yet we didn't even bat an eye. That definitely says something about us. Anyway, the good news is during the playthrough, we swiftly correct ourselves once we realize that we've done it the wrong way. Onward.
Are ways you're going to get free shares too.
Correct.
And you can't get them in that company if it would push you above that block. So that's the selling action. Let's see here. You can also, with all this brine and fire and lithium, you can also use that to fulfill contracts. As you get, I'm going to just take one of these contracts and I'm going to put it right there.
Okay.
So if you have one of those contracts right there, for the cost of a worker, not cost, but you place a worker on the card as if you were placing it on one of these action spots, you can then turn in that much resources, or that much units of stuff for the reward that you get right there. Ooh, that's a lot of rewards. That's going to get you $9. It'll get you 2 shares of Yellow Co. and 18 points. Don't let Edward get that one. You'll notice that because it has this hatching here, the same that these all have the same hatching. Anytime you see that hatching, it means it requires one of your workers to be placed there in order to do it. Now, how do you get these contracts? That spot that I took it from right there. Put a worker on that spot, and you get to take one of the contracts from the market up here on the player board.
And when do those contracts, once they're fulfilled, what happens to them?
They stay there until the end of the round. Then they will go away.
So you have room for 2 of them total?
Yep, and you cannot take a third one until you have empty space.
Roger that.
And it won't be a third one anymore. It will be a second one or a first one.
Right.
Okay, great. That was contracts. The other thing you can do with all this stuff that you're extracting and processing. Now let's cover some extra stuff that doesn't directly fit in. Let's talk about research. Research is how you're going to make yourself better at doing all of this stuff. Up here at the top is the research market. Research cards come in 2 flavors, permanent effects and one-time effects. And again, you'll notice a little hatching here to indicate that that's a one-time effect. The permanent ones are going to make something cool happen typically whenever you do a thing. So for example, this card will give you an extra $1 every time you fulfill a contract. And at the end of the game, you'll get 1 point. There are ways to increase that number. We'll cover that in a little bit. This card here says that as a one-time action, you can get a contract and get $1 and get 1 point. And then because you put a worker on it,
Because cross-hatching.
it goes cross-hatching, and then at the end of the round, it'll go away. And you'll notice that the one-time ones are going to be usually cheaper than the permanent ones for just that reason, because you get to use them once.
And you can clearly see how much they cost.
Look how right out there in your face how much it costs. Like, look, this is the size.
At least it's red.
This is the size of my hand, and look at that. Don't look at my nails, but this is the size of my hand.
Right.
What you'll also get when you buy these is sometimes it'll come with a bonus. Like this will give you a share of Redco. Now again, you can't gain that share if it would put you above that
limit.
box.
Right,
so
yeah.
keep that in mind when purchasing these things. Sometimes you'll get points. You'll just get straight up points. That's research. What else do we got? Let's move over here.
Okay, let's.
How do you get yourself more space? And how do you get yourself more workers?
That is a great question, Paul. How do you?
I don't remember what this is called, but that's just called I think it's your prosperity market.
Or store advancement track,
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, you're moving your star to the right.
Yep. So the default way to do it is to put a worker there, pay $3, and move this marker one spot to the right. You land on that spot, you get to flip that over, and now you have a couple of extra things. Not only do you have more space for fire and brine, you also have another spot to put another research card that you've purchased. And, oh, there you go. And if you happen to put one that gives you points at the end of the game, look at this. Look at this little, let's get in on that. Look at this little doubler here. At the end of the game, this card isn't just worth 1 point, it's worth 2 points, because that's math. You flip that over, that one is X3.
And then the one that should be at the end, but we ran out of space because zoomed.
Yep, that's X4. Many a game have been won by someone putting a 2 or 3 point card in that spot. In X4.
And
in
how
X4.
can you just throw it on the 4 spot?
No, it has to be open. It has to be the leftmost empty spot when you put it in. Now, if you happen to put this card here, and then that card there, and then this card goes away
Because we've used it.
because you've used it, then the next research card you get has to go right there.
So this doesn't slide over.
It does not slide. It'll stay there.
Future Paul here. Again. Yes, it does slide over, but only at the end of the round when the card with the worker on it goes away. This is also swiftly corrected once pointed out during the playthrough.
Let's talk about a couple more reasons you would want to advance this progress marker. If you bump into this worker right here,
Ow!
now guess what? Now he has to come work for you.
You're hired.
Poor guy.
He's been press ganged into
Yes, right.
getting optimized.
Yes.
You keep moving this down here. That's nothing, but you move here, and that opens up your second warehouse slot, and so on, all the way down until that gets all the way to the last spot.
This is a spot, right?
That is a spot, and that's a
Okay.
very good spot to be in because it gives you two cool things. First off, let's talk about these stars. If we can come back over here to the objectives, any objective that you have completed, whether it is...
I hit the wrong one.
That's
For a
fine.
moment. There we go.
There we go. Any objective that you have completed at the end of the game, let me start that over again. Any objective that you have completed will give you extra points based on the number of stars on it if your marker is at that spot that we just covered. If your marker is right there.
So it doesn't have to be anywhere past or
Nope,
any.
that's its
just
home.
that means you get the extra bonus points.
For objectives that you've completed, whether it is ones that you have won at the end of the game for having the most of the thing, or maybe it's one that you finished during the game because you were the first to do it. This would give you 1 extra point. This would give you 3 extra points. They always come in either 1 star or 3 stars. There's not going to be cards with like 6 on them or anything.
Roger that.
The other reason you would want your star to be on that track is because if you gain more stars, you're just like Mario.
Ding,
Yeah, you're like
ding,
Mario punching that
ding.
points button. You get 2 points for every advancement. So if something lets you advance twice and you're already there, that's 4 points.
All right. So you've covered everything but these two now.
Oh yeah, let's talk about shares. That's the other way you're going to get shares. Other than getting them handed to you for free for things like contracts and research cards, you could just straight up buy them. The shares you buy have to come from the same company. And again, buying shares that would put you over that block, that cube in that company, is verboten. It is not something you can do. If you are entitled to buy 2 shares, and you can only buy one, then you only buy one. And that other opportunity to buy that share is lost.
And if you want to buy 2 shares, can they be from different companies?
Get out.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
He tried so hard.
That was a very good question.
That was good.
Like right now,
I can see the bead of sweat.
like right now, the board is currently you can't buy
Any
Right
share.
now, nobody can get anything because
Right.
these companies just don't have anything
We have
to
to
give.
sell
Right,
to them.
Yeah.
So there's a share. Yeah.
That's that. And then the final thing is, what if I want to drill twice on my turn?
Uh-oh.
I've already drilled. You can go, oh no, I want to drill another time. You can put one of your workers there. And for the low cost of $1, you can duplicate the action that of one that is already taken on your board. If that action requires you to spend money, you also have to spend that money as well. So you're just paying kind of like an extra $1 to duplicate an already taken action. I think I've covered everything.
Almost.
That's it. Oh,
If I may.
you may. Please do.
So you mentioned acquiring these money cards.
Yeah.
They're dual use cards.
Yeah.
They're money.
Yep.
You can pay for your actions.
Yes.
In addition to that, they also have those actions available
Yeah.
when you acquire these money cards. And when you acquire these money cards, they will, instead of going up here into these spots.
Yeah. They'll go into your hand, and when you use them, they'll go right there, and they will come back to you in between rounds. So that's cool.
Yeah. So it's
That $1 card could really come in really handy if you
There you
use
go.
it over and over again.
Makes all of your
So
actions.
I have a question, Paul.
Yes.
So you said if you optimize your workers into low morale,
Yeah.
in other words, you get them here.
Yeah.
fed them
You
to the
said-
machine.
You said you can't optimize any longer.
You
Can
can't.
you still
can't,
process
can't even
them?
process any
Okay.
longer. Yeah.
Okay.
You can neither.
You
yeah.
can't take this action at all.
Nope. They are. That is it. You either. They're not around much anymore these days. You don't have anybody to work the machine.
Reattach
The
their
final
arms.
spot. I missed the mystery. mystery
Yeah.
meat.
Oh yeah.
This
Fair
is
enough.
this is the oh no
I need $1.
I need $1. When you put a worker there, and that spot can hold any number of workers because of that infinity symbol, you must take from the top deck there. And in fact, that is the only time you can ever take the top card of one of these decks.
You're gonna
In
want
fact, you will never take from the 3 and 5.
Nope.
The
This is
mystery meat never tastes good. That
no.
spot.
Yeah. But
And-
the workers love it.
We could get lucky.
And
We
one
could.
other small thing.
Yeah.
Is if all the cards are gone here
Yeah.
and there are no dollar cards in the discard
You get
and you
nothing.
get $1,
You get nothing.
You lose.
you cannot
Good day,
take
sir.
from here. I said
Good day. That's it.
Well done. Good
Good
job.
job, Paul.
All right, cool. Thanks for watching, y'all. If you enjoyed the video, and the fact that you're still watching leads me to believe that, hey, you did, maybe watch one of those videos. Subscribe to the channel. Consider supporting us over on Patreon. Really does help the channel. Really appreciate it, y'all.